Have you noticed how all the fantasy mystery Disney cartoons we've been following for years are now over? Gravity Falls, Star vs. the Forces of Evil, Amphibia, The Owl House, all of them are gone. So out of curiosity, I decided to check what Disney have been airing to fill up that void. From superheroes to sci-fi, let's find which of the following 5 modern cartoons on Disney Channel are worth checking out. So let's get back to mid-2022. Amphibia is ending, The Owl House last season was confirmed to only feature 3 episodes, and the only 2 cartoons left on the channel were on season break. So what could Disney possibly air in the meantime? Definitely not another new cartoon from the creator of Phineas and Ferb, right?
It's Hamster and Gretel!
For a new show from the same people that brought us one of the most important cartoons on Disney Channel, could this be that most watch we're looking for? Hamster and Gretel is definitely one of the Disney cartoons of all time. After Gretel and her hamster pet receive superpowers, teenage Kevin's life changes as he helps his sister and her hamster become a superhero duo dedicated to protecting their city. With Phineas and Ferb's same sense of humor, charm, and amazing songs for each episode, I can say this is a good cartoon, just not a memorable one. I don't know. The characters are fine, the writing is fine, the animation is fine, although sometimes stiff. I just don't think it stands out as much as Phineas and Ferb or even Milo Murphy's Law used to do. In Phineas and Ferb, the main gimmick was on point. It was the brothers' inventions. Meanwhile, in Milo, the main gimmick was the Murphy's Law, and how the entire cast of characters will adapt to it. But in this show, there really isn't that much to stand out. Besides the talking hamster, most of the episodes play the superhero theme pretty straight, making it a bit forgettable, at least for me. There's this episode about Gretel having to stop an ice cream lady from freezing her entire city. While in Phineas and Ferb they could have connected the big invention to Perry stopping Doof from freezing the city, or in Milo they could have taken advantage of the Murphy's Law to stop the evil plan, in this show they just played the episode plot straight, with half of the episode setting up the plan and the other half with Gretel just fighting the villain. Hamster and Gretel have good ideas and an interesting concept, but it lacks on memorability. While the episodes are well written, there isn't much that makes it stand out or a must watch. Despite that, I still feel there are some positive aspects in the show, like the amazing songs.
It's a time spent with family, and that's what we've learned.
And the sibling relationship between the main characters. So if you can't wait for the upcoming Phineas and Ferb revival, Hamster and Gretel is a good alternative to watch. But if you're still looking for another superhero cartoon, Disney still has another action show going along this one, and it's really good. We're not gonna talk about that thing in this channel. Oh my god, look at that style, listen to that music, check out those colors! Premiering at the start of 2023, Moon Girl seems to be one of those weird Disney Plus Disney Channel hybrid shows, with most of its episodes being available on streaming days ahead of its TV premieres, just like Monsters at Work or The Proud Family, with the main difference being that this show still is consistently aired and promoted on the channel. Being a fan of serialized action cartoons, Moon Girl has always been under my radar. I mean, when you make a show that looks this good, there's no way I'm ignoring it. But with so much Marvel content coming out, I wasn't really in a rush to watch it. So now that I have the chance to watch it, could this be that must watch we're looking for? First of all, we need to know what the show is about. After opening a mysterious portal, teenager Lunella encounters a Chrismon Tyrannosaurus Rex, who she names Devil. With the help of her friend Casey, she takes on the role of Moon Girl, along with her dinosaur companion to become New York City's newest superheroes. And while the plot sounds pretty standard for an action cartoon, its execution is really good. Moon Girl constantly plays with its animation, either by mixing it with the music, changing up the colors, playing around with the line weight, changing the frame rate of the movement, and even more things I haven't mentioned yet. Literally being eye candy to watch. So why out of all these shows, this one looks so good? Checking an interview in Deadline with the showrunners and executive producers of the series, they mentioned their main inspiration for the art direction was to make their own Spider-Verse, not necessarily by copying it, but instead trying to take the same risk in design, music, and animation they did, now under a TV budget. And looking at the final product, they definitely did. But the show not only excels in the technical side, writing-wise, it's also pretty solid. With 22 minutes episodes instead of 11-minute segments, it follows a more traditional action show formula. focusing more on developing a certain character. Like Lunella trying to get over a fear or a problem with a friend while also having her superhero plot moving at the same time. And well, sometimes I feel the pacing might be a bit too fast, other times they take advantage of that by setting up multiple plots through the entire episode to build up to a climax. Like in the Bat Mitzvah episode, where they set up multiple stuff at once, like Lunella wanting to help her best friend Casey in her Bat Mitzvah, while also having to balance a fight with a villain and her friend having to read her part of the Torah, ending up in an epic battle at the synagogue where she tries to defeat the villain. Overall, Moon Girl is one of Disney's most unique shows. With a unique style, great episode structure, and amazing animation no other modern cartoon has, this is definitely the first most watch of this list. And yeah, I'm saying the first most watch, cause we still have 3 other cartoons to check out, with the next one being one of Disney's most underrated shows in a long time. Before watching Kif, I thought it was going to be like those random equal funny cartoons that aired on Disney XD in the 2010s, so I was pretty sure I wasn't going to like it, but after watching it, I could not be more wrong. Actually, I think this might be the most underrated show of the list, being about Kif, this orange squirrel, and her best friend Barry, while they go on adventures in their own wacky town. I like to call this Disney's take on the regular show formula. While in tone and style, it's completely different, most episodes have a similar writing structure, with Kif and Barry wanting to do something like getting a free pretzel and looking for the most insane ways to accomplish it, like mind controlling a bunch of people, or trying to deliver a pizza and ending up in a giant catapult. I swear those plots makes more sense in the episodes. But the best thing about this show, at least for me, has to be the general vibes. I really like the art style and its complementary color palette, feeling like a children's book, and the music in general, it's pretty good, with something stuck in my head for weeks. This is a charming cartoon trying to make you laugh or pass the time with its characters. While it's not groundbreaking, I feel it's worth checking out. So, now that we have a most watched and an underrated cartoon, what could Disney's next show offer us? This show is about Hailey's quest to complete her to-do list to save the world, accompanied by her best friend Scott and her AI feature companion Beta. Coming out a few months after the Owl House finale, this show was held at a giant standard in the cartoon community, thinking it could be the next big story-driven cartoon. Hailey's on it isn't any of that. Within a few episodes, this show already had a clear goal, being an Adventures of the Week cartoon about Hailey trying to accomplish something from her list, like riding every theme park ride or getting over an insecurity of hers, while also introducing some sci-fi elements like time travel or future tech. As I said, this is nothing like the fantasy mystery cartoons like The Owl House or Amphibia. So now that we aren't judging this show in a high standard, this show is just okay. Don't get me wrong, it has a good plot, but it also has a lot of flaws. Since the show's main theme is completing stuff from Hailey's to-do list, they like to remind us in every episode that one of her tasks is kissing her best friend. Like, there are episodes where the entire joke is that. It even happens in the TV shorts. And I just think it gets a bit annoying. Just like some characters, like Christine, who is Scott's girlfriend. From the few episodes I saw, her only personality is being an influencer. Or even Scott himself, whose main personality trait is being too naive to notice anything. I don't know, it just feels that every character that isn't Hailey, it's just one walking joke, and while those negative sides don't ruin the show for me, I think it might be annoying for other people. In the other hand, I think the show is at its best when it introduces sci-fi elements, like the half-hour Area 51 episode. Overall, I'd rather see more stuff from the future, like special technology or more time travel stuff, instead of another episode reminding us that Hailey haven't kissed Scott. Hailey's on it isn't trying to be the next Owl House. It's trying to be its own thing, and while in execution I feel the show could be better, this isn't a bad cartoon by itself. It has a clear identity, episode structure, cool sci-fi elements I wish they could take more advantage of. If by next season, they're able to tone down some of the annoying scenes, focus more on their plot, and develop more of its characters, I see potential for it to get better. But as of now, I'll just say it's a solid cartoon, but not a must watch. So now we have another cartoon to check out, but it isn't what you expect. Airing in both Disney Channel and Disney Junior, let's check out... Are you serious? A preschool show? And you from 4 minutes into the future. Don't call Bluey just a preschool show. Trust me, this show is much more than that. It's a cleverly written show that can be enjoyed by both kids and adults. Okay. And why do you have an iPad? For this, at this point I'd like to think everybody knows what Bluey is. An Australian preschool show about a family doing family things. I wonder why it's so acclaimed by kids and adults. Wait, nobody else wonders that? It exploded in popularity last year, to a point it has become one of the most watched shows on TV, streaming, even those weird TikToks with Subway Surfers below. I've seen most of this show in those clips, and I thought it was another random kids cartoon, nothing that special. But now, the show has become so well known, even my brother who doesn't watch much kid cartoons has been watching it, so if he's enjoying it, this show must have something special. The structure of every episode is pretty simple. Every episode is centered around a lesson, either by a game Bingo or Bluey playing, or some side plot about the parents. And while most episodes stay pretty formulaic, other times they tend to break the formula and tell a more personal story, like the camping episode. My friends and I tend to call this the Your Name episode, but you'll see quickly why. While camping, Bluey, Bingo and their cousins are playing around the camper. At the middle of the game, Bluey gets kicked out of the camper, so she runs to a woods. Over there, she meets a boy, but he doesn't speak her language. Since they can't understand each other by words, they decide to communicate around by playing. Their game mostly consists of trying to get food. They try to plant a tree, but it doesn't grow, so they go with their plan B and try to catch a pig, which in this case will be Bandit. Over the course of the episode, you see them grow closer, until the last day, where the kid has to go and they don't see each other again. Bluey feels devastated after learning that, but her mother teaches her that sometimes you'll meet people you won't see again. We later get a time skip showing us Bluey sitting down below the tree she planted years ago with that kid, until she hears a familiar sound. It's that same kid again, and the music gets emotional. Wow, this is such a cute way to end the episode. Not often you'll see a preschool show taking over the hearts and attention of so many people, especially when it's this high quality as Bluey. But with engaging characters, amazing writing, and a really charming vibe, surprisingly enough, I can say Bluey, a preschool cartoon, is one of the most watched cartoons on Disney Channel right now. Oh boy, I better tell this to past Ilan. So that was modern Disney Channel in a nutshell. 5 pretty different shows. With the general theme moving away from the 2010s mystery serialized cartoons into these more character-driven shows, there's still a lot of quality content to check out, either with shows as awesome as Moon Girl, as surprising as Bluey, or as charming as Skip. And while other shows like Hamster and Gretel or Haley's on It still need a bit more of work, they still are solid enough to check. After all, I'm just glad Disney still is making content for the 5 people watching cable.